Is known as the simple interest or simply interest. Now, in solving for the simple interest, we will going to use this formula. I is equal to P R T. I will be the symbol used to denote interest. That's it. And then P is the principal. And R will be the interest rate. And the T represents as the time in years. Okay. Now, in some cases, we take a loan for months or even days. In such cases, some appropriate multiple or fractional representation of time that must be used. So we have here the time and the T. Okay. So since T is expressed in years, so if the given time is in years, so it is just simply an N. And then if the given time is in months, take note that in 1 year we have 12 months. So we can represent the time as N divided by 12. Now let us have an example. PJ borrowed 3,000 pesos for 4 years at 5% interest rate. How much interest is that? So to solve this, we are going to use the formula for the simple interest, which is I is equal to PRT, or the principal times rate times time. So all we have to do is just substitute for the value of the principal and the rate and the time. So the principal amount is 3,000 pesos. So we have 3,000 times the rate. So we have the interest rate is 5%. So we are going to convert the 5% into decimal. So we have 0.05 times the time. So the given time is 4 years. So we have 4. So, and then multiply it. So we have 3,000 times 0.05 times 4 is equal to 600 pesos. So that is the interest after 4 years. Okay, so this is the process in solving interest problems. Now we found out that the interest that PJ will pay after 4 years is 600 pesos. Now, in finding for the maturity value or the accumulated value or the final value denoted by F that PJ will pay all in all, you just get the sum of principal plus the interest. Thus, F is equal to the principal plus the interest. Now, we are going to substitute the value of the principal and the interest. So, the given on the problem, the principal is 3,000. So, we have 3,000 pesos plus the interest is 600 pesos. So, 3,000 plus 600 is equal to 3,600 pesos. So, this is the amount to be paid by PJ after 4 years. Now, let's have another example in solving simple interest using the Monopoly game. But before that, let's have first familiarize the Monopoly. Monopoly is a board game played by 2 to 8 players. It is played on a board with spaces. With spaces. In playing Monopoly, you must have the following. First, the Monopoly game board, token, a pair of dice, houses and hotels. So the houses are green and the hotels are red. Fake play money here. The community chest cards. So we are going to put it here. And the chance cards, and of course the title deeds. Okay, so these are the title deeds. So the object of the game is to become the wealthiest player through buying, renting, and selling property. So a person who has the most money at the end of the game wins. So in Monopoly, there is a banker who is in charge of the bank. The bank has the money, the title deeds, and the houses and the hotels. So the bank collects all taxes, fines, loans, and interest, and the price of all properties which it sells and auctions. So at the beginning, the banker gives each player a money. So we have 2 100s, 2 10,000s, 2 20,000s, 2 1,000s, and 2 50,000s, and 2 5,000s. Okay, to start the game, the player will start on go. Go. Each player throws a dice. The sum of the 2 dice indicates how much you will move on the spaces. According to the space your token reaches, for example, so 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. So let us move 11 spaces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So according to your token reaches, you may be entitled to buying the real estate or other properties, or obliged to draw a chance or community chess cards, or even go to jail. Now, as Cherry keeps on moving, she keeps on buying properties and build houses and hotels. Every time that she will land on, she will buy the properties and build houses and hotels. There, so as she keep on moving, she buy the properties, she build houses. Unfortunately, she ran out of money.
Oh my god, what should I do?
No, Cherry has now a big problem. She ran out of money. Oh my god. But don't you worry, Cherry. You can actually borrow in the bank, or you can mortgage your property.
Really? I can borrow from a bank?
Yes, but there is an interest. By the way, how much do you want to borrow?
I want to borrow 100,000 pesos.
Okay, now you have to choose which bank do you want to borrow. Bank 1 offers 10% interest for 1 year. Bank 2 offers 20% interest for 3 years. Bank 3 offers 30% interest for 6 years.
I want to borrow from Bank 1.
Okay, so Cherry choose Bank 1. Okay, now this is now our problem. Cherry borrowed 100,000 pesos from Bank 1 with 10% simple annual interest. How much interest will Cherry pay after 1 year? So we are going to use for the simple interest formula. So we have I, or interest, is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. So just substitute the values of the principal amount, the rate, and the time. So since Cherry borrowed 100,000 pesos, so that would be our principal amount. So we have 100,000 times the rate. So the given rate is 10%. So we are going to convert 10% into decimal form. So we have 0.1 times the time. So since the given time is 1 year, so we have 1. And then multiply 100,000 times 0.1 times 1. So the result is 10,000 pesos. So this is the interest that Cherry will pay from Bank 1 after 1 year. Okay, so we already solved for the interest. Now this time, we are going to solve for the accumulated value, or the final value, denoted by F. So again, in finding for the final value, just add the principal amount and the interest. So just substitute for the values for the principal amount and the interest. So our principal amount is 100,000 pesos. And our interest is 10,000 pesos. So 100,000 pesos plus 10,000 pesos is equal to 110,000 pesos. So this is the amount that Sherry will pay back in the bank 1 after 1 year.
Okay, now we have another set of players. My God, I have no money!
Now, another player has a problem. But as I said, don't you worry because you can borrow or mortgage your properties in the bank.
Really?
Yes, but there is an interest. By the way, how much will you want to borrow?
I want to borrow 350,000 from Bank 2.
Now, Cherry prefer to borrow at Bank 2 with 20% interest for 3 years. Okay, so this is now our problem. Cheryl borrowed 350,000 pesos from Bank 2 with 20% simple annual interest. How much interest will Cheryl pay after 3 years? Now, we are going to use the simple interest formula. So, we have I is equal to the principal amount times the rate times the time. So, just substitute for the value of the principal amount, the rate, and the time. So, since Cheryl borrowed 350,000 pesos, so that would be our principal amount. So, we have 350,000 times the rate. So, since it is 20%, so we are going to convert it into decimal form. So, we have 0.2. And then, multiplied by the time. So, since the given time is 3 years, so we have 3. And then, multiply it. So, 350,000 times 0.2 times 3 is equal to 210,000 pesos. So, this is now the interest that Cheryl will pay from Bank 2 after 3 years. Okay, so since we have already the interest, which is 210,000 pesos, now we are going to find for the accumulated value or the final value denoted by F. So, the formula is the sum of the principal amount and the interest. So, our principal amount is 350,000 pesos. So, we have 350,000 plus, so the interest, we have 210,000. So, we have 210,000 pesos. So, 350,000 pesos plus 210,000 pesos is equal to 560,000 pesos. Okay, so this is now the amount that Cheryl will pay from Bank 2 after 3 years.